see all our union family out here representing nearly 20,000 voters throughout the city.
All right.
My name is Kathleen Logan, and I'm a registered nurse at Allegheny General on a surgical telemetry unit. Today, we are going to hear from leaders of our city's largest and most politically active unions about why Mayor Gainey is the only candidate for working families and how we are going to roll out a massive voter mobilization campaign to make sure he is reelected. Yeah. But first, I want to talk about why I, as a nurse, personally support Ed Gainey. In nursing, we believe in holistic approaches to patient care. We know it is not enough to just give patients medications in the hospital and send them on their way. In order to be truly healthy, our patients need support outside of the hospitals, including quality, affordable housing, good jobs with good wages and benefits, and safe neighborhoods. Mayor Gainey has the same holistic approach to leading our city. He understands and sees Pittsburghers as whole people with a wide range of needs, not a special interest to be pandered to. He does not bow down to big corporations, out-of-state developers, slumlords, and the super rich who want to take over our city government and drive up costs for regular people. Ed Gainey is carrying out a bold vision for Pittsburgh, where all working people can thrive. I also support Ed Gainey as a proud union member. In our contract negotiations in 2023, Mayor Gainey and his administration were always very visible at our actions and events, helping us to win groundbreaking raises that help recruit and retain nursing staff so we can provide the best care. I've also seen Mayor Gainey stand side by side with nurses at West Penn and UPMC Western Psych and with other workers across our city. Mayor Gainey respects and honors working people and our unions. Sorry. Mayor Gainey respects and honors working people and our unions. It shines through in everything he does. He puts in the work and consistently shows up for us. Well, we are here to say we're going to put in the work and show up for him. Now, first, I'd like to introduce Rich Schiavone.
I'm going to speak loud enough that you're going to need that. I've lived in the Pittsburgh area my entire life. I grew up in a region where my family, the sons and daughters of Italian and Slovak immigrants, came to work, raise families, build a future. I grew up in Rankin, where I could see the fires from the Edgar Thompson Works and the Kerry Furnace from my grandma's backyard on Rankin Boulevard. I grew up in a city where cutting-edge research and life-saving medicine helped my mom beat cancer 8 times since I was in the 2nd grade. She's 76, still runs her own business, and won't retire. I grew up in a city with proud traditions, proud legacies, and a proud history, the home of the United Steelworkers. I grew up hearing my mom tell the stories of my grandma who armed the greatest generation, building artillery shells at the Union Switch and Signal in Swissvale, and stories of my pap who fought on the black sands of Iwo Jima. I heard the stories of my grandparents and great uncles who answered the call to fight fascists and authoritarians, who came home to work in the mills, who had good union jobs that provided them with hope and dignity. This was their home. I earned my education in this city. I learned what honor meant at Central Catholic. I became a history professor because of Duquesne University. I've been an adjunct professor right down the street at Point Park University since 2009, where over 10 years ago, we were the first college professors in the city working 3, sometimes 4 jobs, fighting to make ends meet to join the United Steelworkers Union. And we're still in that fight. All of us here now, we're in a fight to determine how we shape our history, how we shape the legacies that we leave behind in this city, in our home. Every Pittsburgh worker and every Pittsburgh family deserves a mayor who's going to join with them in that fight. That's Ed Gainey. That's why I believe he's the best choice for the mayor of Pittsburgh. Since his election in 2022, Ed has demonstrated time and again why he's an ally for workers and unions across this city. While many newly elected mayors might have chosen not to rock the boat with their city's largest employers, Mayor Gainey wasn't afraid to put working people as a top priority. He locked arms with us as we supported thousands of workers in their historic elections at the University of Pittsburgh to become USW members. Ed stood behind workers at Starbucks, faculty at Chatham University, workers at UPMC and AHN. He's honored the picket lines of union members who have been on a 2-year strike against the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, where management attempts to demoralize and undermine our union siblings by using scab labor. Mayor Gainey has been outspoken in his criticism of anti-union employers, spearheading the new Office of Equal Protection, seeking to enforce prevailing wages and paid sick leave laws in Pittsburgh. While his opponent is taking money from MAGA interests that would see our rights taken away, steal our dignity, and take away our opportunities, Mayor Gainey stood with the workers of all backgrounds as we fought for fair treatment on the job, for a better future for our families and our community. Supporting workers and helping grow union solidarity has always been one of Mayor Gainey's priorities, which is why supporting his re-election should be ours. My name is Rich Schiavone, the president of United Steelworkers Local 1088. The steelworkers are my siblings. Pittsburgh is my home, and I'm proud to stand with Ed Gainey.
Next, we have Steve Kelly of 32 BJ.
Yeah. 32 BJ. 32 BJ. 32 BJ. I just want to be clear with everybody before I read my speech that Pittsburgh is a union town. We always have been, and as long as 32 BJ has anything to say about it, we always will be. As I said, my name is Stephen Kelly. I work as a cleaner at Gateway. I am also on the executive board of SEIU 32 BJ. I am here because Mayor Ed Gainey, a leader who values and respects our hard work, has always stood with us. Recently, he came out in the freezing rain to support over 40 workers at Phipps Conservatory who were fired by the contractors who Dexo Live. And their contract ended with Phipps. Pittsburgh is my home. My heart has always been with my union and what is best for my fellow members who are the heartbeat of this city. When downtown was in crisis after COVID-19 and thousands of 32 BJ jobs were in jeopardy, the mayor sprang into action to save downtown and make it safe for us. You see what he has done through investment in public safety, like increasing police presence in high crime areas and implementing community policing initiatives. He has invested in outreach to the unhoused, connected them to treatment and mental health resources. It is our members of 32 BJ who do the critical work on the streets of downtown Pittsburgh. Shout out to my sister right there. Love you. He helped us to create Downtown Investment Fund, pass tax abatements for downtown office conversions, and secure tens of millions of dollars to invest in the central business district. He did all that while making affordability a priority. So, if you work downtown in our central business district, Mayor Gainey is the choice for you. He became mayor during a crisis and has worked tirelessly to build Pittsburgh, instilling hope and optimism in everyone. We are proud to endorse Mayor Gainey. for re-election and plan to talk to thousands of voters. I want to thank you. Have a good day.
Glad you want to hear from me. Good. Hi, my name's Billy Heilman. I'm president of the Pittsburgh Federation of Teachers, representing more than 2,700 teachers and other employees in the city's public schools. I am very proud to report that our union has endorsed Mayor Ed Gainey in his re-election bid. We endorse Mayor Gainey because of his solid record in the areas that will make Pittsburgh a more inclusive and safer city with greater opportunities for young people. Mayor Gainey stood up to President Trump's xenophobia and will not cooperate with ICE in their campaign to intimidate, frighten, and terrorize immigrants. English language learners are the principal growing demographic in our school district. Immigrant children have an equal and legal right to a safe, bias-free public education. There has been a dramatic reduction in crime in the city, including a 33% reduction in homicide since Mayor Gainey took office. Right. Homicide is the number 2 killer of teenagers in the United States. Last year, there were no deaths by firearms of children aged 13 to 17 in our city. Yeah. Shootings are down 45%, and murders went from 71 to 42 from the prior year to last year. Mr. Gainey has built a reach team of 60 respected individuals to help mentor kids and create environments in trouble spots like the Starbucks near Alderdice and Dunkin' Donuts downtown. His administration partnered with the school district CTE program to create Pathways to Prosperity, which offers internships and jobs to PPS seniors. Urban school districts across the country are struggling to diversify their workforce. It is extremely important that all children learn from a diverse teaching staff and experience teachers who look like themselves and those that don't, and have the similar lived experiences. This is particularly true for children of color. And it is also important that young people see themselves in our elected leaders. Pittsburgh has had 61 mayors since 1816. Only 2 were not white men. Sophie Maslow was the first woman to be our mayor. Ed Gainey is our city's first African-American mayor. And he is one of the best. Crime is down. He supports public safety that integrates police and social services, stands up for immigrant communities, and creates opportunities for our city's youth. He has led our city with confidence and with a vision of a city that is truly a community that welcomes us all. The Pittsburgh Federation of Teachers recognizes what he has done for our city and unequivocally states that he deserves our vote. Why would someone who calls themselves a progressive turn his back on him now? The members of the Pittsburgh Federation of Teachers will not. We endorse Mayor Gainey for his re-election, and we will show up on May 20th. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have is William Arthur from Unite Here.
Hello. My name's Will Arthur. I'm with Unite Here Local 57. We represent about 2,000 members in the gaming, hospitality, and food service trades in Western PA. The vast majority of them, though, are right here in downtown Pittsburgh. I myself was a waiter and a shop steward at the hotel right over there for 8 years before I became a full-time staff member of the union. Ed Gainey has been a friend of working people for his entire career. Back in the State House, he was always there for our members, and whenever they needed assistance with things like unemployment or state services, he was always willing to do what was right to make sure they got the services they need. In his time as mayor, he has done wonderful things for this city. As Billy had just said, he worked to lower the crime in downtown to make downtown a safer, more attractive place to come, which is key because, as I said, most of our members live and work here in downtown Pittsburgh. He is also committed to building and expanding affordable housing to make sure that development doesn't push out the people who make this city work.
Right.
As I said, most of our members are housekeepers, cleaners, dishwashers, waiters, bartenders. These people cannot afford to be pushed out of the homes and communities they've lived in their entire lives. Mayor Gainey has been willing to step up and stand up to the corporate interests that would seek to make life harder for working people in this city and make sure that they will pay their fair share. That is why, just a couple of weeks ago at our general membership meeting, Unite Here Local 57 was proud to endorse the mayor for re-election, and we look forward to working with him for another 4 years to continue to make this city the best city for working people in the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have is Matt Yarnell from SEIU Healthcare PA.
All right. Let's see. How are you? I was actually going to say, is Pittsburgh's labor movement in the house? Is the Pittsburgh labor movement in the house? All right. I'm Matt Yarnell, president of SEIU Healthcare Pennsylvania. We bring together over 20,000 healthcare workers and nurses across the Commonwealth, and 3,000 of those folks are right here in the city of Pittsburgh. We're here today to announce our strong endorsement to re-elect Mayor Gainey. There's one thing everyone can be certain about with Ed. You don't have to ever question whether he's on the side of workers or on the side of corporate bosses. And you never have to question whether he's on the side of patient-centered care or corporate-centered care in our city. Ed has been standing up for working families his entire political life. That has never changed, and that never will. Ed has stood up to the largest so-called nonprofits in this city and is working hard to have them pay their fair share. He's demanding, that's right, you can clap for that. He's demanding that they don't just prioritize huge CEO pay, corporate jets, and glitzy ad campaigns. Ed is holding them accountable to contribute to affordable housing, to schools, to infrastructure, to public safety like we've heard, right here in the city of Pittsburgh. Ed is steadfast in his support for workers, having the freedoms to join unions without the threat of being fired or the threat of retaliation. He has met with, he has marched with, he has stood with workers organizing all over this city, taking action for good union jobs right here in Pittsburgh. That's right. We should give him a big round of applause for that. Ed is a compassionate leader. And I don't know about all you, but in the moment that we are living in this country, we better damn well support elected leaders who have some compassion about everyday, regular people. And he's always going to fight for regular people. We need Ed's leadership now more than ever to fight back against all the attacks of the billionaires on our healthcare funding, on other vital community services and supports that are happening right now as we speak in Washington, D.C. and all across this country. Ed's commitment to holding powerful corporations like UPMC accountable will not bend. And so let me be clear. The Healthcare Workers Union has his back 100%. We are going to be fanning out across this city, knocking on doors, having thousands of one-on-one conversations in our workplaces, with our families, with our friends, making phone calls, and spreading the word on social media that we've got to re-elect Ed Gainey, the mayor of Pittsburgh. And let me just end with this. We know that it's our responsibility to re-elect Ed so that he can continue to make progress towards achieving a vision of making Pittsburgh a livable city for everyone, and making sure that we have the highest quality patient care, that we have the best family-sustaining union jobs in any city in this country. And so let me end with this. Let me ask you this question. When we vote, when we vote, when we vote, when we organize, when we organize, when we organize, let's go get this. And I think we're going to go get it.
Thank you. And it is my absolute honor to introduce our next speaker, Mayor Ed Gainey.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
First, I want to say it feels so good to be with my union brothers and sisters today. Can we give them a hand? Come on, give them a hand. We've been on the front lines of many a day. We made sure that we stood together, particularly when Trump was talking about ICE, DEI, Department of Education. We stood toe-to-toe. We stood together. We want to make sure that we continue to do that as Trump's operatives want to mingle in the Democratic primary. Over the past 3 years, I've been proud to stand with you on all picket lines. It's been an honor to stand with you on all picket lines. And I want to say thank you for that. I've stood with our steel workers from organizing drives to fighting for fair contracts, faculty, staff, grad, museums, and library workers to the steel workers. Thank you for all you do to make this a city where union matters. I stood with our SEIU Healthcare, nurses at AGN, to win the best contract for nurses in the region and a minimum to make sure that organizing and that they didn't bust up the union, but they empowered it with a new contract. Let's give them a hand. In 32BJ, we implemented paid sick days bills. They worked so hard to bring to the city with hundreds of establishments. Let me repeat that. With hundreds of establishments now complying. Listen, that's right. We stood strong with UFCW when their members went up and strike against Starbucks, and we're still standing with them until they can have a CBA in which they can be proud of. We fought alongside our teachers at every turn, standing up against anti-public education crusades like Jeffrey Yaz's. To improve the quality of education in our Pittsburgh public schools, we can never let our teachers down. They are the frontline defense of public health and public safety when it comes to raising our children. We must stand with them. And United Here, service workers, to ensure Pittsburgh's tourism represents our values as a union town. Pittsburgh is a union town. We will remain one, and we will stand with our union brothers and sisters. But we know Trump and his cronies are trying to mingle in our election. So let's be clear, we got a real fight right now on our hands. Donald Trump and Elon Musk in the White House fighting for corporations trying to make our workers lose their job at every turn. We've always known Donald Trump to be a scam. He said, you know what he said? If you go on strike, you gone. But the past few months have made it clear that when he's not for our workers, he's only looking to enhance the billionaires and continue to cut lives of our workers. Last year, his buddy, President #1, right up under him, Elon Musk, claimed that the NLRB is unconstitutional after he was accused of labor violations. Under Trump, the NLRB was forced to stop its opposition to the charges that it shouldn't exist. That's what they said. I'm fighting to keep Pittsburgh a union town. No matter what Trump does in Washington, D.C., here we will fight for our rights. We will fight for the right of our immigrant community. We will fight for the rights of DEI. We will fight for the rights of our union brothers and sisters. We will fight for the rights to make sure that at the end of the day, the Department of Education don't go nowhere. We will fight. When we fight, we win. And I can guarantee you with my office, the mayor's office, I'm going to keep on fighting with you. We cannot let corporations, real estate tycoons, and all those nonprofits from all those CEOs from major nonprofits have their way with the MAGA movement and buying the White House. And buying the mayor's office. The mayor's office is not for sale. It's not for sale. The mayor's office is not for sale. We will fight. We will go out because we know when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Let's go get it.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Gainey. I think that's our last speaker. Thank you, Mayor Gainey. Again, in closing, I just want to say that this is a crucial, historic moment in our city and in our country. We need a champion who is going to fight back against cuts to funding the city services and stand up for the rights and freedoms of working people. Ed Gainey is that leader. We are all going to work together to make sure Mayor Gainey is reelected and our city is a place where everyone can thrive, not just the rich and powerful. Thank you.
All right.
We fight! We fight!